Blazing on the track, boy. Blazing on the track, boy.
Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Shalom! Shalom, children of the truth. Eternal flame, children of the truth and living power. Shalom. House of Yasharallah. House of Yahuda. Shalom.
Vision be booming.
Children of truth. In here. Our tree. Our tree
Vision be
of the double-edged sword. True meaning of the double-edged sword. Giving all praises, glory, and honor to. Start this thing off right.
Vision be
To the Most High, the Eternal Father, the Eternal Flame. Where's that one, by the way? And His Son, the only begotten, our beloved King,
Vision be booming.
mediator. Mama, the eternal Mama, the Holy Spirit, the Ruach HaKodesh. How beautiful she is, how gracious she is. Let's give her honor and praises. So she been here with us the entire time.
Vision be booming.
Michael, the honorable prince, the great and honorable prince, Michael, who stands for the people. Be the people's champion. Yo.
Vision be booming.
Yeah, that beat goes so hard. You gotta play limbo. Who in the crib, man? Who in the crib? I'll wait a little bit. I'll wait a little bit. I always got that one watching on the tube. That one watching. Yeah. I don't quite know who it is.
Blazing on the track, boy.
We're gonna wait a little bit. Tune into some instrumentals, man. Just vibe. Vibe. Let the Holy One and the Holy Spirit do their thing. They're gonna guide this one. What is your deal, pal? Come on now. Good. Hey, Boca. Boca. What's your name? Boca. See if you can. It is on Facebook. Yeah. Let's see what they doing now. Fine. Sound good. Okay. From the looks of it, YouTube seems fine. I put it out, until I start saying certain things. Ooh, 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 ooh. Ooh, 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 ooh. Whoa, my God. Chewing on a cone. I don't know what's going on with my music. I don't like it one bit. Not one bit.
YouTube connection sucks.
It does.
Yeah.
Yeah. Figured. Dang, this whole thing that flows up on me. Okay, hold on. Let's try this again. This whole thing that flows up on me. Let's see. What just happened?
Diaper on his head.
Walking around, yeah. Walking around. Alright. Let's go and get some music going up in here real quick. Y'all, if anybody there, I can't tell. I don't think anybody is. Facebook. I know they be blocking my invites and notifications. You got it? Okay. That's good. That's a good sign. No, I did see when you was on, but now it's off. Okay, see, now they on some funny activity. Because the eye ain't popping up.
Are you getting the comments?
No.
You ready for a diaper?
Did you say something?
I just put a heart to see if you get it.
Yeah, the eye thing is up though. So that you watching. That's about it. Got two them. Give it like.
Station beat.
I ain't mean to do
Station beat booming.
that. Is this new?
Station beat booming. Station beat booming.
Once again, we are in variety. In a variety of different books. I'm going to be surfing through.
Station beat booming.
So I'm be coming out of the book of Isaiah. Right. We finishing up in the apocalypse of Daniel. Right. And then I'm jumping into the book in the Legend of the Jews. And in the Legend of the Jews, I'm jumping into the story of Elijah.
Station beat
Jumping into the story of Elijah. So we're gonna be here and there and here. And honestly, wherever the spirit of Ruach HaKodesh may lead, that's where we're gonna be headed. So play this one right up. I'm trying to play in first place. And then we gonna get there you go again. Would you stop trying to pull things down? Yeah.
Blazing on the track, boy. Blazing on the track, boy.
That's not a noodle. He gonna hurt himself down there.
Blazing on the track, boy.
That's again.
Blazing on the track, boy.
Yeah. Now I gotta serve Paul, man. I gotta put my due in.
Blazing on the track, boy.
This is legendary. This is hella scary. Cold like everywhere. That's nice. Style up there. Just that last forever, never temporary. This is legendary. This is hella scary. Cold like everywhere.
Blazing on the track, boy.
This is very epic. This is legendary. This is hella scary. Cool like everywhere. That's nice. This is out of here. Just that last forever, never temporary. Oh, that's called the event. The event is on its way. The event. Baby biting cords. Yeah. I got a baby. Speaking of events, a baby can drop on us any hour now, any given time. So I gotta give all praises, glory, and honor to the one true and living power. I gotta give it up to him, man. I gotta do my due diligence and follow suit. This is for the people. This is for the people. So, part 3, double-edged sword. Here we go. Now I will continue to finish up on where I left off. So we're going to do a quick run through of where I left off on part 2. All right. So in chapter 9 in the Apocalypse of Daniel in this book, giving you a better, you still have to dodge the hijack and decode and know how to maneuver, be a mover around set traps, move around the landmines. You step on it, you blow up. You got to know how to move like a ninja. You got to be a ninja in this thing, man. Be a ninja. All right. If you ain't a ninja, practice. Ask the Holy One to teach you, and he will do just that. All right. Chapter 9. So, and here it's telling you how the Antichrist, that false prophet, is forming, how he came about. Right. And let me just kick it off. And you see right here, is where it's highlighted. Where I got it highlighted is where I'm going to start. Right? Because it's going to sound very, very familiar. Very familiar. See where I got it highlighted is where I'm going to start. Pay close attention. Pay close attention. In a virgin girl. What everybody, we don't play here. We don't act deaf. We don't act like we can't see. He gave us the ability to see. for those who choose life, who choose truth. Huh? The red pill, the green pill. No, green pill. Blue pill. Yeah, the green too. All right. Which one? What's it gonna be, Tom? What's it gonna be? A virgin girl will buy the fish. Listen to the story, listen to the metaphor. A virgin girl will buy the fish. Her name is Injustice. Her name is Injustice. Now, at the same time, I want you to think, reading this, visualize the United States of America and how it's set up in this story. How they use liberty as a female. Well, their liberty is injustice. Our liberty is a female too, but she stands for justice. The Torah stands for righteousness. That's our counsel. You see, they show it in movies. Right? What was the counsel around Black Panther? Women. That was his counsel. We man, mighty man, we protect it. We protect the law. As mighty man, we hold it deep here. We stand on it. We the frontier. And a virgin girl will buy the fish. Her name is Injustice, because the son of injustice will be born from her. Huh? And her surname will be perdition. For by touching the head of the fish, she will become pregnant and will conceive the Antichrist himself, and he will be born from her after 3 months, and he will suckle from her for 4 months. He comes into Jerusalem. He comes into Jerusalem. And becomes a false teacher. What? He comes into the house of the Most High and becomes a false teacher. And he will appear quiet and gentle and guileless and guileless. The height of his stature will be 15 feet, and the hairs of his head will reach as far as his feet, and he will be large in three crescent, and the track of his feet will be large. His eyes will be like the stars which rises in the morning, and his right eye will be like a lion's. His lower teeth will be iron, and his lower jaw diamond. Now that one went off. There they go. That's what they was waiting for. Now they messing with my thing. Now the one went off on the tube, right? That one viewer went off, and now they playing glitchy hitchy. Huh? Hey, you just proving my point, man. Y'all just proving my point. Ain't nobody paying me no mind right now. Y'all know y'all didn't got me blocked off. Ain't nobody paying me no mind, man. His right arm will be iron, in his left copper, and his right hand, and he will be long faced, long nosed, and disorderly. And he also has upon his forehead 3 letters, AKT. And the A signifies Adonai, the befouled dragon, and the Antichrist will be teaching and being taught. Okay, bits of grain and wine and olive oil, such as has not been durable. Can't say this word correctly. Here they go. Mirable. Make this man king. The Jewish nation. What is past here? When the adversary came up, talking about slavery. So you would think the slave ship also will be tempting to the Christians. And killing the babies of the women, and they themselves up the tombs and saying, bless and thrice, meaning 3, temporary joy and exaltation of the Jews, there will of the evil demons, and the earth will become like copper, and all greenery will dry up, and every tree and every flower upon the earth will fail, and the lakes and the rivers of the waters will completely dry up. What does it sound like? Sound like death is consuming. Who came with that's fine. All of a sudden, all right. But in disobeying him, a dragon. Repeat what the dragon say. In disobeying him, the rock be dragon say. And the dragon said to the Antichrist, O you who are full of every iniquity and injustice, Yes, what we just read. The virgin girl. You see? No. 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 The virgin girl Mary. So he says, every iniquity and injustice, just like your stinky mama. Why do you are not able? Why are you faking the funk, dog? Why are you pretending to be something that you're not? And the dragon shames him before the Jews. Now you see why they took this up? Why you ain't gonna find. Now you see why they finessed this. See this real time? And then 3 men will go forth and will condemn him as a liar and a deceiver. The earth also will walk before the Antichrist and say, woe to you, eternal fire. Huh? The inheritor of the eternal worker of injustice. And they will walk in all the earth, crying out and saying to the afflicted Christians, hear, O sons of men, and do not worship him, a power-fearing man. But he is the Antichrist, and many Christians will run to the feet of the saints. Many Christians will run to the feet of the saints. Because it was the Christians that made war with us, who made war with the saints. Where shall we Christians hide? And many of the Christians will hide, and King of glory will flower. To whom is due all glory and honor and dominion forever. Now it gives you the precept, Psalms 51 and what at 19? Psalms 51:19. What that say? What that say? Offering, then shall they offer blocks upon thy altar. Right. 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 The totality of Psalms 51. Right. Because he broke us. Revelation right here. May rejoice. For even in darkness, chaos, terror, and devastation, the Almighty One, the Holy One, still performs works of light, works of mercy, works of grace. I just finished the chapter of Apocalypse of Daniel. Right? And the precept of the end of it, right? It's and it fits perfect. It's the perfect chapter. the two-edged sword. Page the beginning of I'm gonna go to the beginning of it. You want to start at page Start at page 763. That's where the story starts of the apocalypse of Daniel. So he says, behold, and in the hidden part thou shalt make me to know wisdom. Purge me with hyssop, and I shall be clean. Wash me, and I shall be whiter than snow. Make me to hear joy and gladly rejoice. Hide thy face from my sins and blot out all my iniquities. What did he do? Open thou my lips, and my mouth shall show forth thy praise. For thou desirest not sacrifice, else would I give it. Thou delightest not in burnt offering. The sacrifices of power are a broken power thou wilt not despise. This is the sacrifice. We were the sacrifice. Jesus Christ story and flip it. It was the people. It ain't what he wanted. It ain't what power wanted, but it was what had to be done. We left him our sword. Nothing can defeat us. But when we don't, oh boy, history already showed. There's nothing for me to say. There's nothing for me. History already showed. Anybody want to debate? You wouldn't be debating with me. You'll be debating with history. You'll be debating with history. What happened to the people? What happened? Huh? Why we got foreigners running our native land? Why do we have foreigners dictating and putting laws for us to follow? The sacrifices of power are a broken spirit and a broken and a contrite heart. O power, thou would not despise. Do good in thy good pleasure unto Zion. Build. This is what he did. The Holy One, the Almighty Power, has rebuilt the walls of Jerusalem. This is what they are afraid of. This is why chaos is at our front door, or at the Gentiles' front door. Front door. Then shall thou be offering and whole burnt offering. Then shall they offer bullocks upon thy altar. Apocalypse of Daniel left off at. Right? Continuing on in the Bible. So let's read this. Let's try to break. Chapter 63, Isaiah chapter 63. Isaiah chapter 63. And it reads, this is power, man, talking. What is this? Right? The one that tried it in the wine fat. Well, let's go to Zechariah. Let's go to Zechariah. What does Zechariah 3 say? This is why people really need to go back into the Old Testament, because you thinking Jesus Christ, right? Rightfully so, because he mocked. He mocked. That treaded in the. And he showed me, Zechariah chapter 3, verse 1. And he showed me Yahushua, the high priest, standing before. And he showed me Joshua, the high priest, standing before the angel of the Maker. And Satan standing at his right hand to resist him. O Satan, even the Most High that had chosen Jerusalem, rebuked thee. Is not this a brand plucked out of the fire? Now Yahushua was clothed with filthy garments. Take away the filthy garments from him. And unto him he said, thine iniquity to pass from thee. Huh? And I will clothe. If you see it, let me know. How was his garments? Isaiah 63 and 3. I pressed alone. And of the people there was none with me. In my anger, see, this is what transpired with us. I will tread them in my anger. Blood shall be sprinkled upon my garments, and I will stain all my raiment. For the day of vengeance is in my heart, and my own arm brought salvation unto me, and my fury it upheld me. And I will tread down the people in my anger. I will heathen or Gentile. It's talking to the house. My people, I would tread down the people. In my anger, that happened to the house, double-edged sword. The precept, Revelation 16 and 6. Revelation 16 and 6, watch what it says. Revelation 16 and 6 is the precept. For they have shed the blood of the saints. Huh? And you see, Revelation, you see, precept. By thy precept, I get understanding. People, children that will not lie. So he was their savior. And in all their affliction, he was afflicted. Don't think for 1 second that the judgment did not cause the to his people. How long did he cry to his children to turn away from our? You don't know what you are. Please stop what you're doing. If you are parent, in all their affliction, he was afflicted, and the angel of his presence saved them. Huh? The angel of the security guard, the one who stands for the people. And in his pity, he redeemed them. For he actually saved us. The ass whooping. What? You don't love him. You treat him like. And carried them all the days of old. All the days of old. And he carried them all the days of old. You really got to stick to the script precept by precept. But if you know how to move, now you know power once again is telling you in these scripts by not keeping the Almighty here in our hearts. This is what transpired. But they rebelled and vexed their enemy. What did I just read to you in the Apocalypse of Daniel? What did I just say in the beginning of this chapter that I'm reading from right now? Huh? Why did he came in the same fashion? Huh? And is the son of perdition, like his mother. Is the mother of perdition, the Virgin Mary. Huh? Therefore, he was turned to stand. We would have made like the Almighty. Let Power Handler play this thing out. You know what kind of destruction we really would have been in? Non-existent. Because that's what the adversary of the Almighty wishes to have. So he can make his own creation and truly be like the Holy One that we now see. Then he remembered the days of old, after he fought against us, against his own house. Then he remembered the days of old. Moshe and his people saying, "Wear them up out of the sea with the shepherd of his flock." Huh? With the shepherd of his flock. Let me pause right there. Genesis 41:38. Genesis 41:38. Numbers 27:18. Drop. Go figures 636. Was one. Damn near in the fire right now. Let's get another indication. Let's get another Isaiah 65 and verse 7. I'm gonna start up. I am found of them that sought me not. I said, behold, to see. Right? Quick. Seek. Attempt to desire and obtain, or force, right? What does sought mean? Past tense, to try to discover, right? Unto a nation that was not called by my name. I have spread out my hands all the day unto in a way that was not good, provoked me to anger continually to my face, that sacrificed in gardens and burneth incense upon altars of brick, which remain among the graves and lodge in the monuments, which eat things in their vessels, which say, stand by thyself, come not near to me, for I am holier than thou. These are they. Behold, it is written before me, I will not keep silent, but will recompense, even recompense into their bosom, and blaspheme me upon the hills. Therefore will I measure their former work into their bosom. You see, double-edged sword. This is how war was cast upon us. Who was cast upon us? What story? Before the downfall. What did the heathen bring over to this land? Yahweh Shai even said it. Now, when they come speaking of another Jesus, it's all in the Bible. Now, I believe, I don't know if I wanted to bring something out. It'll come. Something else out. Now, the Jews. Reiterate. And the legend of the Jews from Yahweh. In the legend of the Jews, I think this is all right. Power himself have charged the prophet to offer sympathy, demanded that honor be paid who have violated the divine injunction against that the blasphemous talk of thereupon power promised Elijah that fulfillment or imprecation might in his work in his wrath escape hilly speech. As the prophet entered the general's house, he heard be the maker power of the pious, who grants fulfillment to the words of the pious, of the righteous. He had been justly afflicted, curse with Joshua's curse. Jericho, Ahab, pay close attention. Ahab mockingly asked him, was not Moshe greater than Yahushua, Joshua? Mockingly, meaning he knew he was capping when he asked that question, right? And did he not say that power would let no rain descend upon the earth? If Israel served, there is not an idol known to which I do not pay homage. Yet we enjoy all that is goodly filled. The words of Yahushua will come true. Elijah rejoined, even upon the impious tried to induce the prophet to reflexible prophet. Power resorted to the death of his son, of the widow with whom Elijah was abiding, and by whom he had better to be known. Jonah died. She thought power had formerly been gracious to her on the account of her great worthiness, as compared with the myriads of abandoned her because her virtue. And in distress, Elijah supplicated power to revive the child. Now power had the prophet in his power. What I just read. This is why I read and continually read until the day where we don't need to read no more. I hear a lot of our people say, we don't need the books no more. We don't need that. We don't need that. I disagree. On the contrary, for that time has not come. I believe when we don't need to read no more is when the Messiah is here, right? And he's preparing. Father about death is getting to know him, getting to know why he do the things he do. Psalms 51 should pop up to the head. Which the bones which thou hast broken may rejoice. This is a form of that. I just read it. He had to break him. He had to break him. If he unto Elijah's prayer only provided, right, the prophet of the resurrection or resuscitation is brought about by means. Pay attention. Pay attention right here. I want y'all to catch this. Catch this. This whole story right here. This whole story. Asking for power to bring his son back to life, revive him. Please, power, I understand. To your will. He was doing his will, right? We got to make sure we always doing the Father's will. In his distress, Elijah supplicated power to revive the Lord, had the prophet in his power, right? And he could give heed unto Elijah's prayer, only provided the prophet released him from the promise about a drought, for the resuscitation from death is brought about by means of dew. So, by means of dew, huh? Moshe, what was the song he offered unto power? Deuteronomy 32, verse 1. Give ear, O heavens, that's you, and I will speak, and speaking from the source. This is him. This is why this was considered a song of the Most High. This was not his words. What how shall I say? For my doctrine is not mine, but from the one who sent me. Right. That goes the same for Moshe. This wasn't his doctrine. This is the Heavenly Father's. What he say? My doctrine should do as the dew, as the small rain upon the tender herb, and as the showers upon the grass. Because I will publish the name of the Maker, ascribe ye greatness unto our power. Whew. Fire. 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 So what did it say right here? The precept that? What did he say right here? The recitation or resuscitation from death is brought about by the dew is on its way. It's in the heavens. And this let me get that so I won't butcher nothing. Precluded. This remedy was precluded. Meaning past tense, precluded, past particular, precluded, prevent secret nature of official recognition You see how they know? They know what's up. San Diego, California, United States, in the northeastern part of the city, Carmel Mountain. As the lands again, power in Baal, power in Baal, power in Baal. Look it up. Type in Carmel Mountain or Carmel Mountain. Carmel Mountain. Type it in. Google it tell you. Ranch is actually in the shadow of Black Mountain. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Then it says, where's the biblical Carmel? Judea. Carmel was an ancient Israelite town in Judea, lying about 11.2 kilometers, 7.0 miles from Hebron, on the southeastern frontier of Mount Hebron. Where was the lands at? Where's the old world at? Yeah. Yeah. They just told on themselves. They just told on themselves. It's located right here in Cali. Carmel Mountain. The combat between Power and Baal took place on Carmel, the mount that had esteemed itself the proper place for the greatest evil of the law. Was compensated by the many miracles now performed upon it, for its disappointment at Sinai's having been preferred to it. The first wonder occurred in connection with the choice of the bullocks. Hope y'all catching this fire, man. Huh? Catching this fire, man. The first wonder occurred in a connection with the choice of the bullocks. According to Elijah's arrangement with Ahab, one was to be sacrificed to power. One was to be sacrificed to power. And then one to Baal. So we're talking about two different sacrifices, though. Right? Because Baal is meant to profane. So he's going to give a different interpretation of sacrifice. This is what the people now Almighty. The Almighty work. Let the Ruach HaKodesh do her thing, man. Power, and then one to Baal. Sacrifice. A pair of twins raised together were brought before the contestants. And it was decided by lot, which belonged to power and which belonged to Baal. Elijah had no difficulty with his offering. Quickly he led it to his altar. But all the priests of Baal, the priests of Baal, the ones who formed many religions over there, and that's why they call it the old world. That's why they try to call it the old world. Well, really, it was formed here. We profaned the house, right? That's why the house needed. But all the priests of Baal, 850 in number, could not make their victims stir a foot. When Elijah began to speak persuasively, idolatrous priests, it opened its mouth and said, "We too, yonder, Bullock and myself, came forth from the same womb. We took from the same manger. And now he has been destined for power as an instrument for the glorification of the divine name, while I am to be used for Baal, as an instrument to enrage my creator, to enrage my creator, to enrage my creator." Elijah urged, "Do thou but follow the priest of Baal, and then thou wilt have a share in that glorification of power for which my bullock will be used." The bullock, "So doest thou advise, but I swear I will not move from the spot unless thou with thy own hands wilt deliver me up." Elijah thereupon led the bullock to the priest of Baal. In spite of this miracle, the priest sought to deceive the people. The priest thought to deceive the people. I'm gonna let that marinate. Let that marinate. The priest thought to deceive the people. You workers of iniquity. For many will come, or they will say, "But I prophesied in thy name." I don't know you. Get away from me, you workers of iniquity. They was hired by Baal. Who is Baal? It told you in the sealed portion. Mary, when she saw Jesus Christ resurrected, she called him Baal. So doest thou advise, but I swear I will not remove, right? Okay. In spite of this miracle, the priests sought to deceive the people. They undermined the altar, and Hiel hid himself under it with the purpose of igniting a fire at the mention of the word Baal. But power sent a serpent to kill him. But power sent a serpent to kill him. In vain, the false priest cried and called, Baal, Baal. The expected flame, right? The expected flame did not shoot up. To add to the confusion of the idolaters, power had imposed silence upon the whole world. I want what story come to mind, man? What story come to mind, man? But power sent a serpent to kill him. In vain, the false priest cried and called, Baal, Baal, the false priest. Expected flame did not shoot up. To add to the confusion of the idolaters, power had imposed silence upon the whole world. The powers of the upper and of the nether regions were dumb. The universe seemed deserted and desolate, as if without a living creature. If a single sound had made itself heard, the priest would have said, "It is the voice of Baal." Now we're getting a greater understanding of why power do what he do. That all preparations might be completed in one day. The erection of the altar, the digging of the trench, and whatever else was necessary, Elijah commanded the sun to stand still. For Joshua, for Yahushua, he said, thou didst stand still, that Yasharallah might conquer his enemies. Now, this is what happened. He said, not for my sake, nor for Yasharallah's, nor for anyone else for that matter, but so your name, eternal power, may be exalted in this wicked kingdom. So all the ungodly may know. Toward evening, Elijah summoned his disciple Elisha. Elijah summoned his disciple Elijah and bade him pour water over his hands. A miracle happened. Water flowed out from Elijah's finger until the whole trench was filled. Then the prophet prayed to power to let fire descend, but in such wise that the people would know it to be a wonder from heaven and not think it's a magician's trick. He spoke, maker of the world, thou wilt send me as a messenger at the end of time. Thou wilt send me as a messenger at the end. But if my words do not meet with the fulfillment now, the Jews cannot be expected to believe me in the latter days. His pleading was heard on high, and fire fell from heaven upon the altar, a fire that not only consumed, licked up the water, nor was that all. His prayer for rain was also granted. sacred, scarcely, scarcely had these words dropped from his lips. Though we have no other merits, yet remember the sign of the covenant which the Israelites bear upon their bodies when the rain fell to the earth. In spite of all these ways and thoughts, even the 7,000 who had not bowed unto Baal were unworthy sons of Israel. For they paid homage to the golden calves of Jeroboam, the wearing down of rock by desert to distinct. Now, what is that word? And it's under geology. Geology. So, sink down to the point of degradation, at which they gave up the sign of the covenant. They gave up the sign of the covenant. They gave up the sign, at which they gave up the sign of the covenant. Elijah could control his wrath. Elijah could control his wrath no longer. And he accused Israel before power, in the cleft of the rock in which power had once aforetimes appeared, and revealed himself as compassionate and long-suffering. He now met with Elijah and conveyed to him by various signs that it had been better to defend Israel than accuse him. The merciful one. But Elijah, in his zeal for power, was inexorable. Let's look up that word. Let's look up that word. Inexorable. Inexorable. Impossible to stop or prevent. Inexorable. Elijah was war. Then power commanded him to appoint Elisha as his successor. For he said, I cannot do as thou wouldest have me. Furthermore, power charged him, instead of accusing my children, journeying to Damascus, where the Gentiles have an idol for each day of the year. Good guy. Oh, what? Come on, man. Come on. Let's talk on finish. Come on, read with me, okay? Read with me. He says, instead of accusing my children, journey to Damascus, where the Gentiles have an idol for each day of the year. Though Israel have thrown down my altars and slain my prophets, what concern is it of thine? Hmm? What concern is it? These are my kids. I understand that you're zealous for righteousness. These are my children. Don't go too crazy. I'm the only one that can judge them. The house of the Lord, the house of Joseph. So the four phenomena that power sent before his appearance: wind, earthquake, fire, and a still small voice, where to instruct Elijah about the destiny of man. Power told Elijah that these four represent the worlds through which man must pass. Mm. Mm. The first stands for this world, fleeting as the wind. Mm. The earthquake is the day of death, which makes the human body to tremble and quake. Fire is the tribunal in Gehenna, or Gehenna. In the still small voice is the last judgment, when there will be none but power alone. About 3 years later, Elijah was taken up into, but not without first undergoing a struggle with the angel of death. This angel of death. I just read something similar like this in the story of Moshe. How Moshe rejected the angel of death. Now you got Elijah battling with the angel of death as well. He refused to let Elijah enter heaven. Oh, here you go again. So you got that blocker. You got it. The angel of death is the blocker. At his translation, on the ground, that he exercised jurisdiction over all mankind. He refused to let Elijah enter into heaven at his translation on the ground that he exercised jurisdiction over all mankind. Elijah not accepted. Power maintained that at the creation of heaven and earth, he had explicitly ordered the angel of death to grant entrance to the living prophet. But the angel of death insisted. Translation power had given just cause for a complaint, right, to all other men who could not escape the doom of death. Thereupon power, Elijah is not like other men. He is able to banish thee from the world. Only thou doest not recognize his strength. Woo! That boy Elijah wasn't no joke, dog. Where he come from? Where he come from? Let me share something real special with y'all. Real special. Zed, why you rocking? Watch this. With the consent of power, a combat took place between Elijah and the angel of death. With the consent, power allowed it. Right? The prophet was victorious. And if power had not restrained him, he would have annihilated his opponent, holding his defeated enemy under heavenward. And in heaven, in heaven he goes on living for all time. There he sits recording the deeds of man. In the chronicles of the world, he has another office besides. He is the, let's look at this word. Let's look at this word. What did it say? Psychopomp. 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 In Greek mythology, a god of souls to place of the dead, to the place of the dead. A spiritual guide of a living person's soul. A psychopomp. Figure who stays by her, and walks in her dreams. Hermes. The Greeks, what they did with it. What power, what I read to y'all already. Who were the Greeks? Where did they get this? Where did this originate from? The Hebrews. Psychopomp, whose duty is to stand at the crossways in paradise and guide the pious to their appointed places, who brings the souls of sinners up from Gehenna, at the approach of the Sabbath. At the approach of the Sabbath. At the approach of the Sabbath. So are we understanding what the Sabbath means now? At the approach of the Sabbath. The approach of the 8th day. Paradise. Eternal. Come on, man. And who left with that day and said he was going to come back with it? Come on, man. Joseph in the Senate. See what you want. I'm trying to destroy some stuff. Joseph in the Senate. The 8th day. He said what? Let me get that to y'all again. Who brings the souls of sinners up from Gehenna at the approach of the Sabbath, at the approach of the 8th day, of infinity, of eternity. And leads them back again to their merited punishment when the day of rest is about to depart. And who conducts these same souls after they have atoned for their sins to place of an everlasting bliss. There you go, sis. That's why you say blessings. Blessings. Everlasting bliss. Not blessings, bliss. Everlasting blessings. Elijah's miraculous deeds will be better understood if we remember that he had been an angel from the very first. That he had been an angel from the very first. Even before the end of his earthly career, when power was about to create man, Elijah said to him, Master of the world, if it be pleasing in thine eyes, I will descend to the earth and make myself serviceable to the sons of man. Then power changed his angel name, and later, under Ahab, he permitted him to abide among men on earth, that he might convert the world to believe that the Maker is power. His mission fulfilled, power took him again into heaven and said to him, Be thou the guardian spirit of my children forever, and spread the belief in me abroad in the whole world. His angel name is Sandalphon. 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 This is how you say it. Sandalphon. One of the greatest and mightiest of the fiery angel hosts. As such, it is his duty to wreath garlands for power out of the prayers sent aloft by Israel. Besides, he must offer up sacrifices in invisible sanctuary, or invincible sanctuary. For the temple was destroyed only apparently. In reality, how did he keep us? He says, besides, he must offer up sacrifices in invincible sanctuary, for the temple was destroyed only apparently. It went on existing, hidden from the sight of ordinary mortals. And that right there, with that sauce, with that drip, all praises to the glory. All praises, glory, and honor goes to the one who deserves it, the almighty, eternal power, and to his beloved Son, our King. And to the Holy Spirit, give our praises and honor as well. And Michael, the one who stands for the people. Shoot, throw Elijah in there for this one. You know, throw Elijah in there for this. I hope this lesson was edifying. This is Brother Nehemiah coming at y'all again. I hope this was edifying. Much love, much respect to you and yours. Y'all already know. Y'all already know what's going down. Y'all already know we on seconds. We on seconds. We on mere seconds before it's all said and done with. All right. Shalom. Much love. Much love. Shalom.